We have the pleasure of hearing a few words from a world-renowned speaker, Mark Patey. Really quick, so Mark Patey, he actually received global recognition for breaking the transcontinental world speed record, originally held by Howard Hughes. He built his own airplane and flew it across the United States and broke the record. He owns several businesses and employs Utahns here in our state, and he donates his personal helicopter to the Utah County Sheriff Department, Sheriff Office for them free to use. So he's going to come here and speak to you guys. He's got a lot of great things, and while our second artist, Mimi Knowles, is setting up.
Utah, born and raised. I'm Mark Patey. I'm what your future employer might look like, a typical employer. Sorry, I'm not better looking, and I'll stay away from that microphone. The only thing I could think to say in the short amount of time that I've got here is to try to give you some advice on how to get a good job. And there's only one really important thing I look for when we're hiring employees, and that's we don't hire anybody infected with this mental disorder. There's this virus. I don't know if you guys have heard about this virus it's spreading. It's like the zombie apocalypse. It's a disease of entitlement. And I see people come in looking for a job and they think, because I showed up, guys, this is real. I mean, these zombies, they're real. They're flesh eaters. Somehow they got this idea that simply by being at work for 8 hours, they're entitled to a paycheck. And you have to explain to them, no. Showing up's not enough. You actually have to perform. You actually have to produce. And the disease spreads. I had a guy that worked for me that asked for a raise. And I said, why would you like a raise? Let's hear it out. And he says, well, I've worked for you for 6 months. I said, are you producing any more than you did 6 months ago? He says, well, no. I said, okay then. And he didn't get it. And it bothered him. So I gave him the freedom to search for another job. Hey, you can't keep him around. I had another guy ask me for a raise, and he says, this is what I've done to earn it. And I said, and he was right. And I gave him a significant raise. And this is the problem. This zombie-like apocalypse, these flesh eaters that think that they can eat off of what you've done is destroying America. And it scares me to death. Look what's happened to Detroit, right? The disease is infected. It's as bad over there. And there's good people that aren't infected yet, right? That are there. But unfortunately, there's so many people infected that all the people that are afraid that they'll catch the disease are leaving. And leaving just the zombies left to destroy everything that was once a beacon to America. Guys, I don't know what else I can say, but when you're looking for a job, I'm scared to death to see people these days and kids these days that somehow think that even if they didn't earn it, they get to have it. And it starts with adolescence, and adolescence is a funny thing in Western culture. We don't expect anything of the youth from like 12 to 18, and now even into their 20s. It used to be at 12 years old, you had the keys to the tractor, you were plowing a field, you earned your right to be in the home, you helped provide for the family. Nowadays, at 12 years old, you want your free cell phone. That's the incubator now, this adolescence, the incubator of the disease, this entitlement disorder. Kids get their free car, right? And then they go on to college, and finally after college they say, I have a degree, I'm entitled to a big paycheck. No, the degree is awesome. But actually producing is what earns you a paycheck. You're entitled to absolutely nothing. Now I'm going to finish with just this, because that's really all the time I've got, and I wish I had more time, but I don't. All of us are infected with this zombie entitlement disease. The apocalypse is so real. And if you don't think you are, there's two ways to know if you have this disease. One, if you've ever accepted anything that you haven't earned, the disease is starting to affect your brain. And it destroys every individual, every city, every town, and every nation that this infects, right? The other way to know is if you got something for free and you didn't appreciate it, because sometimes we need a little help, right? Sometimes we need a hand up, we need our parents to help. If you weren't grateful, you're definitely affected. So I leave you with this. To ensure that nobody here is infected with the zombie apocalypse entitlement disorder, at the end of this event, call your parents if they bought your cell phone for you. It's a little thing, but it's a test. Call your parents. If you didn't buy your cell phone with your own money, 100%, call them and say, Mom and Dad, I'm afraid I might be infected with the entitlement disorder and I don't want to be a zombie. I'm not a flesh eater. Thank you. Thank you for providing it for me. And someday, I'll pay you back, I promise. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for being at this wonderful event and stop the zombie apocalypse. No more flesh eaters.